I'm Danny, and this is the Scream Princess podcast.
Recording in
Hello.
progress. So official.
Recording in
Okay.
progress. Hello,
Yeah, that's
everyone. Welcome to the Scream Princess podcast. And today's guest is Mr. Reber Clark, a film composer extraordinaire. How's it going?
it's going great. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. So we've managed to do this with our time difference. Whereabouts actually are you in the world?
In the world. I'm just outside of Chicago.
Just
I'm in a little,
outside Chicago, and
yeah,
I'm
about
here.
20 minutes west of Chicago.
Okay, and I'm in the northeast of England, or of course, England only has one time zone, whereas the States,
Sure.
you have different time zones in one
Yes, we
country.
do. Yes, we do. So I'm Central Time. So you're up by Yorkshire?
I'm above North Yorkshire. I'm
Oh.
I'm further north. I'm about an hour and a half north of Whitby.
Oh, okay. All right, sure. I've not been there. I think we have a mutual friend, Josh Kennedy,
Yes.
was thinking of making a movie at
Well, this
Whitby,
is
and
why I said Whitby because I thought you'd know where it was, but
yes, and I have some acquaintances in Yorkshire too. Greg
ah,
Johnson and Chris Lackey. I don't know if you know those
I
guys.
don't. I don't. But
They
I'm about an hour and a half. Uh, well, I'm about an hour from Yorkshire. Depends where in Yorkshire. So
sure.
I'm actually off to
Okay.
York tomorrow for a
I
little
hope you're doing something
road
interesting.
trip. Yes, it should be fun. Little couple of days away.
Yes. Oh, I saw where you were in on one of your bios, an avid hiker.
I
So I
am.
bet it's very nice up there, right, for hiking. Lots of
Mm,
I don't know. I imagine
yes.
moors and open land and
Yes, and this is why I moved to the Northeast because I grew up in a place called Norfolk, which is kind of it's East Anglia, so it's kind of southeast England. And then I lived in London for 16 years. And then London, obviously, you're kind of trapped in a big city, and I'd have to drive out a couple of hours if I wanted a good hike. And I just kind of, I felt like I'd done London, I'd done the partying. I didn't really need to be, in London anymore. My lifestyle was
right.
different. So I decided to jump
Kind of the
ship and
same story here. I grew up in Arkansas, which is in deepest, darkest southern United States, and lots of water and
mm,
mountains and things. And then we moved to a city, and cities are pretty much the same everywhere.
yeah.
Paris, Chicago, New York, London, they're
Mm,
just kind of all the same. And so now we live out kind of out in the country, and it's very nice. So
yeah.
yeah, I get the idea. I get the impulse.
Yeah, I mean, it's parts of me miss London. Sometimes, when something comes up and you think, oh, I could just jump on the tube and I could be there. But at
Yeah.
the same time, like lifestyle is much more relaxed being out of London.
Oh yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
not sorry.
And the produce is probably better, you
Yes,
know.
it's just very different. It's
Yeah,
just very different. The only
sure.
thing is, in the northeast is much colder. So I said I'm an hour and a half from Yorkshire. I'm also an hour and a half from Scotland, which is very cold. So yeah, we do
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm right on the coast as well, which is beautiful at
Oh,
the moment
that's
in the
nice.
summer. But it's a long, cold winter up here.
Well, same here. You don't want to be here in the winter.
Mm.
Every other part of the year is beautiful, but winter in Chicago, no,
No,
it's
cold.
not pleasant. And it's long, five
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So we met, well, we've actually met today properly, but we've met
Yes.
through a mutual friend, Mr. Joshua Kennedy, who was one of my very early guests actually on the podcast when I first
Oh, good.
started. So we started in January, and I think he was somewhere, I don't know whether he was the second or third one that I aired, but yeah, way back in January. And we could almost have met because I do believe you came to the London premiere of The House of the Gorgon.
I did. I
And
did. It
I
was
was
my,
there, but I also hadn't
oh,
met
shoot.
Joshua.
We just
Yeah,
missed each other, I guess.
I know. Well, I hadn't met Josh at this point either. And I'd seen the film was screening and I booked a ticket and I went along with a friend and there was lots of people I knew there. And every time I looked over at him, he was very busy, so I didn't even get to introduce myself. So I sent him a message afterwards, I think, and said, "Oh, hi." And at the time he was doing Cowgirls versus Pterodactyls, and I was like, "That is a great title for a
It
film."
is a great title.
Yeah, and then he said, "Oh, well,
It
I
is.
funnily enough, I've got this other film I was thinking of you for." So he knew who I was too, and that was Saturnalia. Or he says Saturnalia, and I feel like
I
the
know.
accent thing we say it differently. And
I've always said Saturnalia myself,
yeah,
so.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. It's
I
more of
don't
a
know.
proper name, I guess you say Saturnalia. It's more of a proper name for, I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I don't know.
But I had
Tomato,
not met
tomato.
Josh. I had not met Josh either, I don't believe. I think
Right.
that was the first time London. And
Oh,
Carolyn Monroe and Martine Beswick and Chris Neame and the cast of thousands,
yes.
and Josh's mom, Anna.
Yeah.
Uh, I had not met anybody. So yeah, it was very
Oh,
exciting. My first time in London and
right.
very nice, very fun. I
So
liked it.
how did you actually, or how did Josh get in touch with you, or how did, because you scored House of the Gorgon, and that was so that was the first one you did for him, and you've kind of
Right,
done
that was
all
the
of
first
the
one.
ones since.
Wow, it's a convoluted story. I hope you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. I made a movie. I was not getting any movie work, so I made a movie and scored it myself and submitted it to a film festival in Oregon called the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival.
Hmm.
And it was accepted. And through that uh, showing and connections and stuff, I made a bunch of friends. One of them was a sculptor named Brian Moore, who is from Los Angeles, and he was doing a bronze bust for the Boston Public Library of Edgar Allan Poe, and he wanted some music for promotions.
Right.
So I did the music for him, and then was able to travel to Boston and go to the library. And at the same time, concurrently, I don't know if you know Jeffrey Combs, the actor. Brian was producing. He did Reanimator.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, Brian was producing Jeffrey in a one-man show about Edgar Allan Poe and with Mark Redfield,
Hmm.
who is a name you may know.
Right.
And we all kind of hung out together, went out to dinner and all that stuff after the bus dedication
Hmm.
and whatever. And and then I think Mark knew Josh, and either he told Josh or he told me that Josh was looking for a composer for House of the Gorgon. And so one of us called the other. I don't remember which one. And yeah, I sent him some demos and he liked it. And then we were off and running and we've been doing stuff ever since.
Ever since. It's such a funny world, isn't it? Because we always say, obviously, it's a small world, but you always meet the people you need to meet at the time you need to meet them. Like it's just
Yes,
people,
I
like
get that too.
I
It's
feel
like
like
when
you ask the
they,
universe and
yeah,
it
like
answers.
they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. It's the same
Mm.
idea, it's like, oh wow,
Yeah, it's
and it
like,
looks
the whole sliding doors thing, isn't it? It's like,
yes.
you could
And when you
easily
look
be,
back, I was, a guy that I like his thinking, Joseph Campbell. He says, when you look back on your life, it looks like somebody composed it. Looks
yeah,
like somebody wrote it. So
yeah,
it's pretty interesting and it's fun. And I wish more people would take more chances and get out there and do stuff.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
true.
'cause
And
I
that's
think
the
that's what
thing.
happened.
If you don't try, you'll never succeed. So,
Exactly.
put yourself out there. Don't worry about, what's going to happen because it'll work out. Like things always work out in the end, the way they're
Maybe,
supposed to.
probably, I hope.
Well, and
I
I
think if
always
I
think
was
like the
over,
chances that you miss, then you look back and go,
yes,
well, if I hadn't missed out on that, then I wouldn't have gotten that, then
right,
something
right.
better that will worked better for you. So I don't know.
Absolutely.
Life
Absolutely. And I've
works
made
in
a bunch of
mysterious ways.
friends. Yeah. I feel like I'm friends with some of those old Hammer actors, that have
Yeah,
been around now. And that's just a lot of fun. It is.
yeah.
And I see them
I'm
at
so glad you
conventions.
actually managed to come to London and meet them at the
Me
premiere.
too. Me
Yeah.
too. Oh, I wouldn't have missed it. The thing was, when was it? Like February or something? And I had to go through Iceland and we were iced in or something,
Well,
but then
really?
took off in an ice storm. And yeah,
I
it was
don't know.
crazy.
Yeah, I can't remember what month it was. I remember it was dark. So I know it
Yes.
would have been in the winter because it
Yeah.
was, like otherwise
Yeah.
it would be daylight
But
when
it was
we
a
came
blast.
home.
It was a great time. It was a very
Mm,
good time. I didn't
yeah.
stay in the Langham. I stayed in the hotel across the street from the Langham. I don't know if you know it, but it's not the best hotel.
Oh, really? Did they all stay in
Yeah.
the Langham?
Oh, too expensive.
I was going to say, I was going to say the
I know.
Langham's not
Yeah.
cheap,
So it's
but
like the Langham, the BBC, and then whatever
yeah.
this hotel was, and it's just I don't know. It's kind of creepy,
Yeah,
but
it's all around the kind of Great Portland Street area, just to kind of backs off of Regent Street, Oxford Street. I used to work
right,
in Great
right.
Portland Street myself, doing something very, very different. But yeah, all of
Okay.
those buildings, it's all kind of condensed. London's not as big as people think. Obviously, I don't know, you probably don't think it's so big because the UK is very small, but for a capital city, you can kind of walk around London pretty quickly.
The same in Chicago. You can walk from the top of it to the bottom of it in maybe an hour or two.
Yeah.
It's not very big at all. It looks big, but it isn't.
Yeah. Well, I say that as
Yeah.
long as you know where you're going, because I would often
Yeah.
be in one place in London and have to go somewhere
Oh,
else, and I jump on the
ah,
tube just because I didn't know where I was going. Less so once you got phones with sat nav on them. But you know, when you had
right.
before you had phones with maps, and I would just be like,
Yes.
well, I'm either going to get a tube or I'm going to get a cab because walking around is not going to work for me. But yeah, I
No,
love it
and
to
I
go.
Josh told me where the after party was, and I told a cabbie where it was, and it was on. I was on the wrong side of the town of London.
Right.
I was
Where
on the
was the
wrong,
after party?
and it was pouring rain. I was in Tammy Hamalian's rental, whatever she was doing,
Oh,
or they have an
okay.
apartment there or something.
Right.
But um, so I was pouring rain. I ended up going to some embassy from the Netherlands, and this really nice guy let me in and let me use his phone because my phone was not doing a thing.
Yeah, of course, no
Okay.
problem.
Then, okay, we straightened out where the address was on the other side. So I got in another cab, went over there, still couldn't find it, went to a pub. 20 people in the pub were trying to help me with my phone. It was fantastic. Everybody gathered around and they
See,
were
people
doing
in
my
London
phone.
are friendly. They say we're not, but they
Oh
are.
no, totally friendly. Totally. Everybody was helpful and friendly and relaxed. It was fantastic. People say Chicago people are not friendly, but they are. And
Yeah.
New York people. I've never had a problem there either. So I don't know. Then anyway, finally I found it, got to it, was soaked to the bone, and that's when I really met Caroline and Martine
Yeah.
and
I've
all
only
those
just
people.
met Tammy actually myself. I met her
Oh,
that last
yeah.
month. It was a signing that I'd gone down to London for to do for Caroline, and Tammy was there. She's like, "Oh,
Oh,
I've heard about you, but we've never met." So,
was that Maggie's thing?
yes, Maggie's when she
Yeah,
held
yeah,
it.
it's a great
Yes,
cause.
it
Yeah, good
is.
thing.
It is. It was nice to be
Yeah.
able to go back
And
as well.
Tammy's great. I really like
Mm.
her. She's
Yeah,
she's
she's super fun.
fantastic. Yeah.
Super fun.
So,
So you did House of
yeah.
the Gorgon. Were you a Hammer fan before that?
Yes.
You were.
I'm
So you
kind of limited in my fandom though. I liked
okay.
Horror of Dracula, which I don't know what it's called in the UK, but it
I
was the
think it's the
Christopher
same.
Lee. Yeah, yeah. And then I really liked Quatermass in the Pit. It's
Right.
5 million years to Earth or something like that. No,
Okay.
that's not it. I don't remember. And
I
there was
think I
like,
watched that one recently and we were just
um,
laughing up there.
yeah, yeah. And then it's the one with the big, I don't know, they put the crane into the creature at the end and it grounds it and,
Oh, and
well,
maybe it wasn't that
whatever.
one then. Maybe it was Quatermass 2 that I watched
Maybe,
recently. I think it
I
was
don't, oh,
2.
no. And then, of course, Captain Kronos.
I
I
haven't seen
really,
that one.
oh, that's their big Blu-ray
I
release.
haven't seen that. Is that with Caroline?
Yes, and it's
I
a box
haven't seen
set,
that one.
and it's
So,
got 4K, it's got Blu-ray, it's got DVD, so whatever machine you've got, you can
right.
watch.
No, that is definitely
It's
one I watch.
fantastic.
I've
And
been
there's
making
a,
my way through all the Hammers recently.
oh
I've got a
yeah,
box set with a lot of the kind of classics. Been making my way
yeah, the
through
one
that
that
and then
really sticks in my head is Horror of Dracula.
mm,
But Hammer of Dracula would be a good title.
it would.
Anyway,
There you go. Don't give Josh ideas.
yeah. But and there's one more, but I can't remember the name of it, so it'll come up. Probably 15 minutes from now, I'll go, oh yeah.
Yes.
So
Well, we'll still be here in 15 minutes, so it's
I
fine. It'll
hope.
probably be like in an hour's time when we're gone, and then you'll be like, oh,
Oh,
I
okay.
remember it now. That always happens, or
Yeah,
it
yeah, that
comes to
always
you while you're
happens.
cooking your dinner or
Right before
something.
I go to sleep, it's usually, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Or you think on it while you're sleeping, the first thing in the morning, it's like,
oh, yeah. Got to get up and write it down.
yeah. Yes. So you worked on House of the Gorgon with Joshua, and then it was
Yes.
Saturnalia. Oh, was it?
Yes.
I know, hang on.
You
Cowgirls
see
was
the
first,
poster
wasn't it?
back here. You see the
Yes,
Saturday
I
night. Yeah,
like
okay.
that. I noticed that. I see. I think Josh did something similar, where I think he put it in the background.
Oh, he did. Good.
Yeah, I think he did the
Good.
background when we
Yeah,
did
he's a
the.
real show person. He
Yes,
likes doing that. Yeah.
I know. I always feel like he's so old school. Like he's like you could pick
He
him up
is.
and put him in the 1950s and he would just be like making movies exactly the same way as he's doing now. Like nothing
I
would
think you're
change.
right. I
And I
think
love
you're
that.
right.
I
Yeah,
love
I do
that.
too. And those guys are few and far between.
Yeah, and super
You know.
talented. I mean, like he can do everything apart from
Yeah.
maybe the score. But he does the writing, he can direct because he can do the cameras. And not only, has he learned one camera, the last one we did, we were on 35 mil, he was shooting film. And then he can edit
Right.
and he can do the effects. Like he's super, super talented. And he's only 30.
I know. It's amazing. And
It,
the thing that impresses me most about him is a lot of guys his age will talk, but
mm,
they don't actually do
yeah,
anything. They don't actually, and he can plan it,
yeah,
organize it, put it together, and finish it, and then present it. And that's a big
yeah.
deal.
And when he's not
That's a
doing
huge.
films, he's on stage. So he's
I
like
know. He just did
just
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
doing
I think
everything.
they
He's
just did that, and it's
busy.
in South Texas of all places.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's putting South Texas on the map.
yeah. I guess.
It's
Yeah.
already called the South Pole of Texas where he lives.
Oh,
So
I believe it. Yeah,
yeah,
I
I feel like one day there'll be a statue of Joshua Kennedy, you know,
that'd
like
be great.
in the
I'd
South Pole
love
of Texas.
that.
Actually, I'm gonna vote for it. I feel like it needs to happen.
Okay, I'll
It
vote
needs
for it
to
too.
happen. So actually, I think Cowgirls versus Pterodactyls might have been first. He'd shot it first, and then when I was going out to do Saturnalia, he said, "Well, actually, we want to shoot another character. We can thread you through this film." So I was like in my element. I was like, I loved the title, and obviously didn't think I was
Yeah.
going to be in that one. And then I got there, and he said, "Do you want to do
Well,
this?"
and I like the costume with the hat and all the
Oh,
black and
it's
stuff
so
out in
much
the
fun.
desert. It was a great look.
It was very hot on a Texan beach. Obviously, I've come
Well,
from,
yeah,
I think it was December. It was before Christmas. So obviously I'm in the UK and it's cold. And you go to Texas and it's, you're like 20
yeah.
degrees hotter anyway. And then you're all in black in a corset on a beach in Texas. So I remember he was like, just act
As you
like,
do.
yeah, act like you're dehydrated and you're going to faint. And I was like, I don't need to act. It's fine. But
Wow.
it was such a fun experience. And obviously,
Oh, that's great.
pterodactyls aren't there. Sadly, we couldn't, get any on the day.
Oh
But
well.
then acting to something that's not there is something you don't get to do a lot. And I really actually enjoy working like that and working on green screen and kind of sitting in his parents' garage or garage, as you might
Yeah,
call it,
yeah.
and sitting on a chair pretending I'm riding a pterodactyl. It was just like it was so much fun. We had a great time.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Well, it's an interesting movie. I know what he wanted to do, and yeah, it was a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
I feel like
And
the House
luckily
of
for
the
me, he
Gorgons,
doesn't know how to do the music, so I can.
yeah. Well, House of the Gorgons kind of like the nod to Hammer, and then the Cowgirls versus Pterodactyls was like the nod to Harryhausen, and then Saturnalia,
Right.
I don't know what that was a nod to. That was just
Oh no, well, the original idea was something like Barbarella. You know,
okay, okay,
that's what he wanted. But then I don't know. I didn't I went more 70s porn soundtrack with the with the music, and I think that kind of swayed it one way.
yeah.
A
I
lot of
think
wacka wacka guitar and stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, it's super fun. It's kind of one of my favorite films that I've done actually because
Oh, nice.
it's different as well.
It is.
I didn't
And
have to say anything. I didn't have to learn any dialogue. It was all
it's
kind of
all over the
action.
place. And I mean,
But
he's got everything. He's got animation, he's got all
mm,
kinds of effects, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
the music really makes a film. And I think
Oh,
like any kind of, really famous films that people could think of, straight away the soundtrack kind of gets in their head. And it's
yeah,
obviously it creates the ambience, it creates the tension in a movie, it creates a whole atmosphere. And you could have a completely different movie with exactly the
right.
same acting, exactly the same camera shots,
It's
with
true.
different music, you would be watching a completely different film.
Yeah, a good
So
exercise for film composers is they just show kind of a neutral scene of two people together,
mm.
and you can score all kinds of things because you're kind of scoring what's going on in their heads and their hearts instead of what's overt about the scene.
Yeah. And obviously then you've
Yeah,
also got, you've obviously spoken to a director about what kind of style they want. So you've kind of got to work to that. So if they're wanting it, like you said, a little bit 70s or a little bit, you've kind of got to work with that, but also kind of put across
right.
everything else.
And some guys or directors are very strict. They want this, and they'll send me example tracks and,
Mm.
temp tracks that are exactly what they want. And then other guys like Josh will just say, just send me something. We'll see. And that's
Yeah.
fun because I can try all kinds of stuff. And he'll say, yeah, let's go with this. And
Yeah.
it's a good way to work. It's nice and
He's very
relaxed. And
collaborative.
yes, he
Like because
is.
he does
And
say that and
flexible.
it's he'll tell you if he doesn't like it or he'll tell you if he wants it differently, but actually
Yes.
he's willing to let you play with it and see what your
And
interpretation is too. So that's really a nice thing to have happen.
And what I really like is he's direct and specific,
Hmm.
because my feelings are not going to get hurt.
Yeah.
This is not sacred stuff. Just if you
Hmm.
hate it, just tell me and let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
growing up, what were your kind of film influences? Like what were your favorite films?
Oh, wow. Well, we had a theater within walking distance, the Heights Theater. I grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas, and we lived in a place called the Heights, which is kind of up high. And it was 25 cents to go to the movies. And then I could take the bus downtown also to see, there were a couple other movies, theaters down there. I went to every science fiction movie I could. Boy, all, I don't know, just everything. And then, of course, television. There was a lot of
Mhm.
influence there with the Twilight Zone and Outer Limits, and but yeah, you know,
So
I
you're a big
can't.
sci-fi fan because I was going to ask what is your actual favorite genre? Would you say sci-fi?
I guess sci-fi, horror, just interesting things like Eraserhead. I love that movie. I don't know if it's sci-fi or horror, or
I
just
can
something really
picture the
interesting.
poster. I don't think I've actually watched the film.
Okay. I have advice for you. Sit with
Watch
your
it.
back to the door in the dark by yourself with the door unlocked
Oh,
and watch
okay.
and watch it and
Okay.
watch. Yeah, it's an experience. But all kinds of things. John Borman's stuff, like Excalibur and
Mhm.
Zardoz. I'm a big fan of Zardoz.
Mm.
I guess that's science fiction. But then I also like Lawrence of Arabia and
Yeah.
Casablanca and wow, I could just about everything. I don't really like um, I don't know what to call torture porn type stuff,
No.
but but I'm up for just about anything.
So what
So.
would you say your favorite type of genre is to score then, as opposed to watch?
Wow. I guess epic or adventure. I like
Mhm.
big ensembles, orchestral stuff,
Mhm.
uh, wide open spaces. It could be a Western, it could be outer space, it could be just something massive, something I really like the idea of we're such a small thing, the Earth, and
Mhm.
we're in this vast thing. I don't know what it is, the universe. And there's people get so narrow in their thinking. I think we need to get a more cosmic, not like, hey man, cosmic, but just a cosmic, I don't know, it's point of view or whatever, but you know, let's open our minds up a little bit
Mm.
and consider the larger things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So what's
Okay.
your
Good.
process like if you're given a movie I mean would they come to you at the script stage or would they come to you when they've got kind of the picture shot and the kind of an edit for you and say look this is what I've got
It
what do
depends.
you
Yeah.
do?
Well, if I get a script first, I try to imagine it, but then by the time they send me the final cut or the locked cut,
Hmm.
which is when all the visual decisions have been made and the sound effects, hopefully,
Hmm.
then it's usually completely different. So I really don't need the script, just a general idea of what the storyline is so I can kind of develop some thematic ideas and see where we're going with it. It might not even be thematic. It might just be some kind of sound that is characteristic to the movie. Okay, but really, things really start when I get what we call a locked cut, which is basically the timing, the visual timing is there, and some of the sound effects are in, and the dialogue is there, and then I get that, and it has time code at the bottom, which shows you how many frames. I know you know this stuff, but
The
how
viewers
many?
might not, so
Yeah,
I said
so
that
many
like I know I don't
frames,
always know stuff.
frames and seconds and all that stuff at the bottom. So then I go through and with the director and we spot the movie, which means where's the music going to go
Hmm.
and where does it start and where does it end for each cut, each scene.
Hmm.
So then I have time code restrictions to work in and I work out like if we're doing something melodic, I try to get a melody that I can use throughout the thing and kind of make variations of it. Chase scenes are fun because you have like a melody and then a contrast, then another, then this melody returns, then a contrast to that. And it'll called a rondo form in music, A B A C A D A. So theme and variations or rondo, those are kind of the go-tos for film composition for me, unless they just want something weird, and I'm totally into that. So just whatever.
So
I like to kind of make it coherent if I can.
how did you start on your journey then to, being a film composer? I know you were saying that you weren't getting the film work and you were doing the Lovecraft stuff, but like, what was your musical journey?
Oh man. Well, it's sixth grade, fifth grade. Let's see, I guess I'm 11, I'm 10. I started playing trumpet, actually cornet in the school band and went through the school band system, through junior high and high
Mhm.
school. Majored in music in college. I played trumpet and I'm not a piano player. So I think a little bit differently than the composers that are piano players,
Mhm.
I hope. And because a lot of times scores sound like orchestrated piano pieces
Right.
and I just wanted to get away from that. Um, so yeah, then I got a music education degree and started teaching school band, uh, sixth grade through 12th grade, and was writing at the time. And there weren't a lot of writing opportunities for live ensembles in
Mhm.
Arkansas at the time. So I did beauty pageant charts for,
Amazing.
beauty pageant contestants and production numbers for those and got a little bit into theater. And then got some stuff published by some print publishers for concert band and wind ensemble. And decided I'd rather do that. So my wife and I got together and said, we're not going to make any money for a while. Can I do this? And we came up with a plan. And so I didn't make any money for a while. At
It's
Henry
good that she was
Mancini.
supportive of this, though, even though, you know.
Yeah, yes, yes. Henry Mancini said, if you want to make money in music, sell band uniforms because it's the only way. So you better love it.
Even more so now that you've got the, you know, the online
Oh
stuff
yeah.
when you get,
Oh
you know,
boy.
hardly anything back.
I know. And you can get ripped off a lot, but
Mm.
that hardly ever happens. Knock on wood.
Well, I think it's the same
Um,
with film though, film and music. Now that the digital downloads and you know everything's online, you know, the iTunes and stuff, it sounds great for the people who want to access it, but actually for the artists and the, you know, creators,
yeah,
it's
but
not
even the
great.
publishing, even the print publishing, I only get about 10%
Mm,
after everything's paid for. So,
right.
eh. So you better love it, or you can get lucky, but a lot of times it's just for the love of doing it.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, then got published and kept publishing things with the publishing. It was published by Columbia Pictures Publications at first, and then Warner Brothers, and then a little company in uh, North Carolina called C. Allen Publications, and that's who I'm with now. So, yeah, and then just playing here and there. I used to play. Oh, there was a rock and soul band in the
Right.
60s and 70s named Sam and Dave.
Okay.
They did I'm a Soul Man, I'm a Soul Man. Da, 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 da,
We
da, da,
danced
da.
to that in a class I go to in the gym.
Well, I played trumpet for them on the road for a while, and
That's
that was a lot. That was
amazing.
a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah, they broke up, and so Sam had his own tour, and
Right.
Dave had his own tour, and I was on Dave's tour. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. That was in the mid '80s,
Right.
and then just been doing movies and writing stuff for concert band, and yeah.
So I think you've already answered this. I was going to ask kind of what instruments you actually play and whether you compose with, you know, instruments or whether it's mostly like synth and on, you know,
Well, I grew up as a trumpet player,
as a trumpet
and
player.
my horn's over there in the corner, but I don't play it much anymore. And I've got a computer set up here. It's
All
not
right.
really elaborate. I've been trying to, not have a lot of gear, and so I use software. I
Hmm.
use sequencing software that I can load the videos, the movies into, get my timings, and then I use, I guess they're called instrument libraries.
Right.
So there are companies that record instruments and then you can play them from the keyboard. So I've learned a lot more keyboard skills than I used to. Um, but then after all that's done, after all the composing and stuff is done, you have to make it sound real. So you have to put it
Hmm.
in a space and all this. I was trained as a musician, not an engineer. So I've been slowly learning how to do that part myself, the mixing and the mastering,
Right.
all that. So I think I'm finally getting somewhere, but we'll see.
Well, your stuff's great, and I'd love to
Yeah.
hear more about it all in part two. Welcome back to the Scream Princess podcast. Welcome back to part two of the Scream Princess podcast. So, what would you say your favorite films are
Wow.
now?
Oh
Like,
my
if you had to
goodness.
look at like films from a composer's perspective and say, you know, those films
Oh,
had great scores.
well, Eric von Korngold, the Seahawk, um, and all of that stuff. Bernard Herrmann, big one for me. I loved his stuff. I discovered him early on when I think, some British company, not really sure who, but it was him and the London Symphony, put
Right.
out a couple albums, and it just beautiful stuff. Psycho, of course, but also Jason and the Argonauts, and the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, and just so many great scores. Even Taxi Driver toward the end of his life,
Mhm.
I really liked. Yeah, yeah, those guys, Korngold, and also Max Steiner.
Right.
Um, yeah, some of those older guys. Actually, they're the guys who use orchestra now are kind of doing the same thing. They've just kind of updated it a bit, but it's the same kind of the same process. John Williams, Jerry Goldsmith,
Mhm.
Basil Polidorus. Boy, I could go on and on. There's just so many. I try to listen to everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, did that answer the question? I kind of got
It
lost
did.
in
It
mine.
did.
Okay, good.
So if you could score a remake of any film that
Oh,
exists,
oh my
what
God.
would it be?
I was just
It's a
thinking about,
hard one because sometimes when it's obviously so good, you wouldn't want to do anything to it to change it.
well,
But
I've seen so many terrible remakes.
right,
I think they should just leave it alone.
I agree for the most part. I do agree for the most
I
part. Okay,
know.
maybe a
But
sequel then, a kind of a
I was just
long-awaited
thinking the other
sequel.
day about one of those. It might have been today. I don't remember. Shoot. It's one of those things. I'm getting so old now. I have a thought and it just goes away. Um, wow, what was it? I think they just remade War of the Worlds for like the 5,000th time.
Yeah,
And
we nearly watched it last night.
yeah,
We put it on, and then I think dinner was ready, and then we decided not to go back to it
right,
after
right.
dinner.
And
We
that
were like,
happens here quite a bit.
yeah, well, I and
Yeah.
then this morning, loads of people had posted about it, so I don't know whether it's just released on, I don't know, Netflix Prime, Disney, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
so many apps, but people were saying it's memorable for all the wrong reasons. So I
I saw that. I
I
saw that
don't
one.
think I'm
Yeah.
sad that
That's a credit you
that
want.
existed. But so I love Eva Longoria, and she's
Oh
in it.
yeah.
I can't really, slate it in if I haven't seen it. I didn't watch it, but I usually feel like she doesn't do that many movies. Usually she picks a good script, so I don't know.
She did a
Yeah.
really good series though. Just, oh man, a couple of years ago. Did it take place in, it was either Italy or maybe a Slavic country of some kind?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't
It
see that
was
one.
really good, and my wife and I watched it. It was just really great.
Mm.
She does really interesting things. That's the other thing. I'm attracted to people who do interesting projects. I'm going to look her up.
Well, I loved Desperate Housewives, and then she did Devious. I think she produced Devious Maids, and she wasn't in it. And then there was Telenovela, which I loved her in. So. Yeah, I feel like but she doesn't, she seems to just do the odd film here and there, which is,
Right,
she
and
usually
she kind
waits
of
to pick a
picks
good
what she
script.
wants to do, and
Mm,
I really respect that because so many people just will do anything. But in the
yeah.
beginning, I was willing to do anything. I
I will
did.
do
Oh,
anything if they're paying. I'll be like, yeah,
yeah,
book me
absolutely,
in.
absolutely. I'm there. That's exactly right. What is it called? Oh, something in Spain. It was no, it wasn't Searching for Spain, but it did have. It was a film, and it took place in Spain.
Hmm.
Oh, I can't remember. Oh, wait, I'm tired. I need to pay attention to you, not the this thing. Okay.
No.
So, yeah, but yeah, she's one of those that picks and chooses her projects, and I really appreciate that because they're always interesting.
Mm,
Yeah, I haven't watched Desperate Housewives though, not my kind of thing.
so good. So good.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of films that were made, a long time ago, and now they're coming back with these kind of sequels years and years and years later. And in some aspects, you're like, it's great because obviously as fans, you want more. And then in the other aspect, you're like, oh, maybe they should have left it alone. So obviously with Indiana Jones, obviously amazing, the theme tunes, it's actually my phone ringtone is Indiana
No,
Jones theme
actually, my
tune.
wife says as well.
Because I feel like when
Raiders.
no,
Yeah.
not sorry, not my ringtone. My ringtone's Jurassic Park, but my
Oh,
alarm
still a
tone.
good score.
Still a good score. It's my alarm tone is Indiana
Oh.
Jones because it goes off in the morning. It's like da 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 da, and you kind of feel like you want to get up and have an adventure. Like I want to get
Yeah,
out of bed today and I want to have an adventure. I mean, some people have such
absolutely.
weak alarm tones. and like birds or something. And I love birds, but it's
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
that's not going to wake me up. I mean, I have seagulls nested on my roof. Like birds don't wake me up.
Yeah. Nice.
But I need a good tune to get me up
Get
and
you going.
ready in the
Yeah, you
morning.
bet. You
But
bet.
obviously
I
they
love
came
that kind of stuff.
back with the Crystal Skull, which wasn't really a hit.
Yeah, I
And
know.
you know,
After the third one, I just kind of went, eh,
the first three were great, and then the Crystal Skull
yeah.
came out, and I
I
it was
heard
a
it had a
bit
lot of problems.
far-fetched.
They
And I
couldn't
know
get,
they're all far-fetched, but it was
yeah, well,
more.
yeah, but I think they couldn't get Sean Connery. He just said, nope, I'm not going to do it. And
Yeah,
that kind of screwed everything up, I
yeah.
think. And
But
then
then
they had
I've
to repair
rewatched
it.
it since, and I've gone,
It's
you know
okay.
what? Any Indiana Jones film is better than no Indiana Jones film. So I've rewatched it
Yeah, I
and I'm
know
like,
that. I know.
it's okay. And obviously then they've done the fifth one, which I actually really liked. But also they
Yeah,
filmed a lot of it in the northeast of England and Scotland. And I've kind of, I know the areas. There's a big bridge. I think it's one of the early scene. And I kind of went on a hike. I was living in the area in Scotland at the time, and I
nice.
went on a hike to the bridge and I was like, oh, that's where they filmed that. So
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
different feelings. And then
Yeah,
again,
it's a friendly place to go. It's good
yeah.
memories.
But then
Yeah,
Hocus Pocus was like, they did on the 30th anniversary, they released a second one, and I thought it was terrible. And I rewatched
yeah.
this yesterday, and I actually didn't mind it the second time round. I was like, okay, because I think I already didn't like it, so I was like, okay, well, actually, it's better than I remember thinking at the
Yeah.
time. So,
And Josh and I have talked about this, how we'll be thinking, oh, this project, it's okay, blah, 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 blah. And then we go back 2 or 3 years later, and it's
mm,
like, oh, wow, that's not really bad. Not too
yeah,
bad, you know?
I think because you have such
So
high
it's,
expectations
yeah,
that
yes.
then, I mean, and then have you seen the new Jurassic World?
No, no.
Don't,
Nah.
don't bother. It was terrible. And then I'll probably rewatch that in a few
Sad.
years and go, oh, it wasn't so bad,
Yeah,
but
I
it
think it's a
wasn't.
psychological
Yeah,
trick or not trick, but
it
a
wasn't so
condition
good.
or something. Yeah.
It wasn't so
So
good.
I
But if
don't
you could,
know.
okay, if you could bring back a film franchise or something, and so it's
Oh,
a different script, so you're not remaking somebody's work,
wow.
but they're coming back with a years later sequel. What would it be? The
Wow.
score,
Wow.
like, so something maybe that's had like, I don't know, incredible music that you think,
I don't know. I liked Life Force. Have you ever seen Life Force?
no,
Oh yeah, that was a Henry Mancini score of all things, but it's
right.
a really out there science fiction thing. But no real. I don't know. I go all the way back to the big epics.
Hmm.
David Lean's movies, that big sweeping things. I just love that. I love large musical ensembles. I've done some stuff for orchestra that I'm trying to get some orchestra to pick up, and
Right.
so far nothing yet. But boy, I think Robin Hood. I'm thinking,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Actually, who was it? Patrick Bergen? Did he do a Robin Hood?
Don't know.
Anyway, that was a long time ago. That's old stuff. Um, if Star Wars was done right,
Mm.
I think they kind of screwed it up. Um, which in my mind, my strength, the way the associations work, Disney screwed up Winnie the Pooh as well. It used to be great. And then it just turned into like this super sweet, cutesy thing that just drives me up the wall.
I
And
don't really remember watching Winnie the Pooh.
oh, yeah, the early ones, the really early ones were
Yeah.
straightforward. Mr. Milne's characters were
I've read the
clear.
book. I read like the
Oh,
Milne
yeah.
book. I have read the book.
Yeah, those are good. And Now We Are Six is one of our favorite ones. I think that's the last book. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know, how did we get on Winnie the Pooh? I guess no. But man, I don't know. Some of the John Ford westerns that take place in Monument Valley,
Mhm.
with just some giant sweeping landscapes, and you see these. Oh, there's a great movie called The 13th Warrior
Right.
with Antonio Banderas. Really loved that one. That was a Jerry Goldsmith score. I don't know. That kind of screwed up the Omen, bringing it back. I loved the original Omen, but the new one, the Omen, I don't know if they call it the origin story or something. Yeah,
Right. Haven't seen
they,
it.
I don't know what they're thinking. Um, I don't know.
I don't know. I think,
So
well,
I don't really know.
I think they're thinking people are definitely going to come and see this and it's definitely going to make money. and that's the thing with bringing back old titles that are favorites. People will watch them, even if it's just out of curiosity. So they're
Right.
always a moneymaker.
So why not just make a good one?
I agree
I
with
mean,
you. I
if people are
agree with
gonna, yeah,
you.
why not?
I agree.
So
I always think
let's
that. I
look.
think, of all the writers, this is what my issue is with the new Jurassic World. I'm like, of all the writers you could have hired because you've got a huge budget. I don't know who wrote it, but they just wrote a script where you don't care about any of the characters. You're not really bothered what happens to any of them. Like there
Exactly.
isn't really much story going on there. It's like you could
Right.
have had, any story. Anything would have been better than the kind of
Right.
non-story that they had.
They
But
had
then
the, they had the
I've
money to
seen
do
people on
that.
Facebook that have loved it and they've said it's the film of the year. And I'm like, what were you watching? Like, what
Yeah.
did I was
Yeah,
in
I
the
don't
cinema
get
and
it.
I watched the same film, but no.
I don't get it. I think there's too much boardroom involved and too much
Yeah.
committee
It was
committee
like, right,
stuff
we need to
when
tick
really
some
it should be
boxes. We
should
need
be
to
one
tick the right
person's.
boxes.
Yeah. They think, you can do it by voting, which you
Yeah.
can't. You need a single vision, single person saying no and yes. So,
Yeah.
oh well, yeah, but they don't like that because they want to play the averages and make a little bit of money, which
Yeah.
I understand making the money, but they can make a lot more if they make a good movie.
I love the original like trilogy. And then
Hmm.
I actually loved Jurassic World like as a trilogy. And this new one's kind of not really hitting the mark.
Yeah. So that
I'm
it
sure
just
they'll continue and they'll
it's
make more money than I will. So they're
oh
not
yeah,
they don't
everybody
care
makes
about
more
my
money.
opinion.
No, they don't. No, not
They
the money
don't care.
people. The money people do not. Apparently, I'm
So
sure there's some out there that I don't know why. Maybe they're not into it because the people that are in it are, I don't know, hard to associate with or something.
yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah, I don't
What kind
know.
of music do you listen to on your days off
Wow.
when you're
Well,
not working and you
it's
want
hard.
something
It's
different?
hard to it's hard to because I do it. I have stuff in my brain all day, and then I'm listening to stuff. So I like I don't know. I have periods where I really want to do some headbanging and stuff, but mostly it's quiet, like solo guitar. Uh, what's the guy's name? I can't think. Earl Klug, or his solo guitar stuff, or some Ramon Montoya flamenco, but not with the dancing and singing. I just like the guitar.
The guitar.
Um, yeah, something quiet and that shows some thinking and some care and some feeling.
Yeah.
But then there's those times where, I want to listen to No Time to Die by Hans Zimmer, which is the James Bond
Hmm.
soundtrack. It's fantastic. But a
Right.
lot of it's based on John Barry's original On Her Majesty's Secret Service
Right.
soundtrack. But it's big, it's epic, and it's lovely. It's just
Yeah. I
just
feel
gets
like
you.
that's what like your films that you score have, and a lot and they're really epic. Even though you're doing like an independent movie, your
Right.
scores are huge. Like,
Trying
it's
to.
and that, it sounds like there's a lot of instruments, there's a lot of band, there's a lot going on, and it really kind of creates an atmosphere and a mood, and
Oh, that's
takes you through
great.
the film, whether it's like a Western. Like I did note this actually when you came back on, but I haven't noted it on air. You've changed your background poster to Cowgirls
Yeah.
versus Pterodactyls. And I think that's me riding the pterodactyl at the
Yes,
very
you're in
top.
there. You're
Yeah, at the
right
very
up
top
there.
corner. And I'm in the kind of stance of the Wicked Witch of the West when she's riding her broomstick. I look a little like that. And I remember at one point Josh
No,
sent
I
me,
didn't think that
oh
at
no,
all.
I know, well,
I with
actually,
the cape, maybe with the cape, I can see that.
yeah, with
Yes.
the cape. But actually, when
Yeah.
Josh sent me a picture of one of the models, so it was the kind of stop motion
Oh.
models, and I was like, why does my face look like Donald Trump? I had this like weird squashed face. But he was like, it'll look
Oh
fine on
God.
screen. And
I never
honestly,
made that association.
yeah, you
No.
don't. It was when it was just sitting in the studio. Obviously, you don't notice
Yeah.
it when it's on screen. But yeah, I mean, it
Gosh.
was great that they did all the stop motion stuff and stuff like
Well,
that.
it's
But
like the King Kong Fay Ray stuff when she's in his hand, she
yeah.
just it looks like a terrible doll.
Yeah, I mean, it was in a photograph. It was not in the movie. I haven't noticed in the film.
Right,
I just
right.
when he took a picture. It
And
was
we're doing one now, or supposedly doing one now called Hour of Shadows. And there's this demon that he had a guy in
right.
Norway or some way construct it or build it, and it's terrifying looking. It's
Amazing.
it's
I
Yeah.
love like the practical effects and the puppetry,
Yeah.
like that he actually has these masks. I mean, like the Mantipus mask was incredible.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember
Yeah.
seeing it
It's great.
sitting, and I was like, "Oh, is that the Mantipus?" And then obviously you see it in the film, and you're like, "Oh, yeah, very different,
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
very
I like the
different."
practical effects too. There's a more immediacy or something. The CGI, it can be done okay.
Yeah.
The sequel that came out to The Thing, or the prequel that came out to The Thing, used CGI and practical effects together, and I thought that
Mm.
worked pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally, I like the Marvel stuff. It just turns me off. I mean, I'm sure they're making lots of money, but
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I
don't
feel
care.
like it's just a bit saturated. Like once you've seen one, it's just, oh, here's another big superhero movie, and
Yeah, and
here's
I
another
think,
one, and they're kind of, similar. I mean, there are
and
people, obviously, the super
a
into
lot of
Marvel.
if you look at the animated ones, a lot of the motions are the same. It's like they copy the motion
Yeah.
file from one character and put it on another, and everybody's moving the same, even across different movies, and you can recognize
Well,
that.
it's like a
So,
lot of the old Disney movies as well. You see people have like taken like I don't know. I think one's like the elephants on the march in the Jungle
oh
Book,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
there's like another film where something's like exactly the same, or like Robin Hood. Was he a fox and then like maybe Baloo the bear? Like, I don't know, probably not
yeah.
the same, but like it's the same kind of deal.
Somebody's done I saw a thing on YouTube about that.
Yeah,
They had Christopher Robin running through the forest, and then
that
it
was
was
it.
also
Christopher Robin, and then
Mowgli and Mowgli in Jungle Book or something. They were
yeah,
doing jumps and everything, but I don't
yeah.
know. It didn't that didn't stand out to me as much
You
as
wouldn't
CGI
notice
does.
it watching the film necessarily. And also
Maybe.
they're different creatures, aren't they? They're, you've got the one's a
Yeah.
bear, one's something else, you wouldn't really notice. But obviously it saves some time, so you can see why they did it.
Right. Right. Oh, sure. Yeah, I get it. And I'm all for shortcuts.
Mm,
I do them all the time. A
yeah.
lot of cut and paste sometimes. So,
Have you ever played a theremin?
yeah, well, not a real, well,
Not
have
a
I
real
played a
one.
real one? Not a real one. I've got a virtual one
I
that
only I
I've
only
used.
discovered what they were watching something recently, and I was like, they're really cool. And I
And you
kind of
can
bought
buy
one, and I
them.
looked online, and I was like, oh, £1,000, maybe not.
Oh, that much. Oh, I think you can
Yeah,
get them less.
but
You can get
you
them
could
for
probably
less.
get a cheaper version.
Yeah, I'd say $149. I don't
Really?
know,
Well, maybe.
200 pounds maybe. But ooh,
There's
there's
this
one
other
thing
thing.
we,
Oh, maybe it was the other thing that I looked at actually. There was a water thing. Like it's like loads of metal rods, and it's like a water.
oh, you bow that or pluck it.
Yes, with a
And
bow.
it's just called a water phone.
Maybe that's the one that was more
Those are
expensive.
neat. Those are, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be expensive because it's just a big,
Yeah, maybe
you
that
know,
was the one. Maybe I was confusing the
but
two.
those are
But
cool. Those sound really cool. I've got a
yeah, like
sample
a
one that
really
I've used.
eerie,
And if you
creepy
get
looking.
like a violin bow or a bass bow and you bow those rods, it just sounds, it's really cool.
Yeah, yeah,
It's really, those are neat. And then you bang it and you rock it and it goes wow, 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 wow. And
yeah.
it's
It's
just,
funny, isn't it? It's like I feel like the theremin's very sci-fi,
yes.
and
Well,
then
yeah,
you've got
that's our association.
the water thingy. What did you call it? A
I think it's called a water phone.
water phone. That's very kind of horror and very eerie. So it's funny, like that.
And
There are different kind of instruments that are very much used in
I
certain
first heard a
genres.
water phone in Jaws. John Williams used one in Jaws.
Wow.
In college, I was a projectionist for a local movie theater. We didn't have, there weren't unions or anything.
Mm.
So I ran Jaws over and over for like, I don't know, months. And I pretty much memorized the movie. But yeah,
Well,
that's the
it's its
first time I
50th
heard water
anniversary,
phone.
like a couple of weeks ago.
I know, it tells you how old I am. So whatever. But yeah, got to see a lot of first run movies that way up in the
That's
projection booth. So
amazing.
that was fun. Yeah.
I love
So yeah,
Jaws. I do love Jaws.
I do too. The
I
first
have
one.
like a weird shark fear, which is kind of irrational because it's very like unlikely I'm going to get eaten by a shark because we don't really get them in the UK and I
No,
don't
and
really
you're up
swim in
north.
the sea.
It's
So
too cold for them up there,
it's
right?
too cold. You get some sharks, but not, not nasty sharks. You might get like a
Right.
basking shark or something somewhere in like
Oh,
Cornwall. But yeah, like I mean, and if I'm on holiday, even then, like I'll get in the sea, but I wouldn't if I knew it was somewhere that sharks live. Like, I
yeah.
might to my ankles or something where they're not going to get me. So unless I fall from the sky at some point into
Oh,
shark infested waters, I'm not going to get eaten by a shark. But I feel like
right.
from that film, I have shark fear.
because the camera was right down on the water,
Yeah,
right? Just like your point of view when you're in the water. I
yeah.
know. I used to vacation in North Carolina where I had relatives, and we would be swimming out there, and there was a pier that goes out into the ocean there, and they would have shark warnings. If sharks, they would have spotters, and if there was a shark in the area, they would tell everybody to get out of the water.
No, so the
So
thing is,
yeah, it
if
was
there are
interesting.
sharks in that country, I don't care if there's a warning or not, I'm not getting in the sea. Like,
Just not going.
I'll paddle my feet where, where it's too shallow for the
Yeah,
sharks, but that would be
sure.
it. Like, I'm certainly not going swimming.
Right. I have friends that have gone to Australia and they say, yeah, you got to stay out of the water a lot of the times there
Yeah.
because there's a lot of sharks.
Well, sharks, and then obviously you get certain times of year where you get the box jellyfish and they're very
Oh, yeah.
bad. And
Yeah,
then,
absolutely.
all sorts. It's just,
But, or you could just sit at home and stare at the wall. No, I think I'll go get in the ocean. Let's
oh
take a chance.
no, I'd stare at the wall. I was born in Australia, but we moved to England when I was a kid. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a country where a lot of things can kill you. The
Everything
sharks,
could kill you there. That's
sharks,
right.
spiders, snakes,
Spiders, you
jellyfish.
got to shake your shoes out in the morning and
Yeah, I mean,
let
I don't like
everything.
spiders as it is,
No,
and we don't have
no.
anything dangerous. That's the thing about England. Like you have bears, you have crocodiles, you do have alligators, you have things that can kill you in the States. Like we don't
Yes,
have
yes.
anything. Like maybe, if you're on a hike and you have to cut through a farmer's field, you should stay away from an angry bull. But
Yes, we
like
have that too.
yeah, I mean, but then it's like common sense, it's not going to come out of nowhere and, attack you if you're not in its
Right.
field. So
Yeah, well, we have snakes. We have lots of snakes. So,
yeah, we don't have any We
poisonous.
have one venomous snake, but it's not that venomous.
Oh, it's just
So,
like
and I've
it
seen
doesn't care.
one. I've seen one in my life in the
Oh,
forest.
okay.
So yeah, they're not
You just have
everywhere.
to be careful. You learn as a kid, and I was in Boy Scouts, and we learned, they like to sit in the sun and warm up because they're
Hmm.
reptiles. So you just kind of watch where you're walking so you don't step on them, and
Yeah,
they don't want to hassle anybody. So, but still,
that's
it's kind of
true.
spooky.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
What actually are you scared of? Because this is a horror podcast.
What am I
What
scared of?
scares you?
I'm not scared of being alone. My mother made sure that because I don't know, but no, that doesn't bother me. I'm not scared of the woods. A lot of people, ooh, the woods are scary. I don't
No,
think
I'm not
so.
scared of the woods.
It's comfortable to me.
I like the woods. It's peaceful.
Yeah, me too. Just a nice feeling. Not scared of water. I don't think that's why I got into H.P. Lovecraft because the fear stuff is more cosmic. It's other out there, different from just monsters. A lot of
Mm,
people make that mistake with Lovecraft that they think it's just like, oh, it's a squid monster or something, but it's really more than that.
right.
There's a lot more stuff going on. And so, yeah, the first movie I made that scored to try to get noticed was my favorite paragraphs from Lovecraft's work. It was called Lovecraft Paragraphs. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it's
I've
old
actually already
technology.
done your end card with your link, I think, to your
Oh,
YouTube and
okay,
your
great.
Bandcamp. Is it Bandcamp? Is that what it's called?
Bandcamp, yes,
Bandcamp. This one time at
bandcamp.com.
Bandcamp.
Do what? I'm sorry, I didn't
Said
hear
this
it.
one time at Bandcamp. That's
Oh,
where
yeah, which
it
I have not seen that movie. I
Haven't you
have
seen
not.
it? Oh, you're
No,
missing
no.
out.
But I've been to band camps.
So
I was a kid. I went, yeah, so
you
things
know what
do
they
go
get up
on.
to.
But yeah, so yeah, the Lovecraft stuff, it's it yeah, it's interesting because it's not really based on Judeo-Christian anything. He was a staunch atheist, and it's more about existential threats and
Mm,
dreads and things, and trying to be based in reality, but yet sort of. He writes almost biblically, which is weird for an atheist, but interesting stuff. That's how I got involved with the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society in
right.
Los Angeles, and I've done some of their stuff. We just completed an interactive show with Nick Offerman. Do you know that actor?
No,
Have you seen The Office? No, he's not. No, Parks and Rec.
no.
He plays Ron Swanson in that,
Okay.
and he's done a couple movies, Devs, and oh, he did The Last of Us.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, he was one of the gay characters, the
Ah,
two
okay.
guys.
Right.
he was the one I think with the beard. Yeah, anyway, so that's been an interesting process with the
Mm.
H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society. How they got their name is an interesting story. They
Go
used to
on.
be in Colorado, and they were just guys that like to play Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, and they decided to do it live. So
Yeah.
live action role play. So they had costumes and all kinds of stuff. And they'd go out in the woods and act it out. Well, the cops stopped them one time and said, What's all this?" And Sean, one of the founders, said, "Well, he just made up a name. We're the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society, and we're just, working out some interesting things." And the cops let him go. So ever since and then they moved to Los Angeles, where they met Nick Offerman and opened up their shop in his wood shop. So
Okay.
that's the connection there. So
Ah.
anyway,
And then
uh,
they've started a Lovecraft Society. Just
they did and made movies and these radio plays, and they do all kinds of Lovecraft is in public domain. So,
right.
and there was a period when you could nail two sticks together and write Lovecraft on it and somebody would buy it. So they
Mm.
kind of capitalized on that time, and are still going strong.
Amazing. So what's been the
Yes.
most challenging job for you
Oh,
or score that you've had to do?
it's the technical end because I was
Okay.
trained, with having a live ensemble and
Mm.
standing up and conducting, and that was the performance. But recording and then mixing and mastering, that's been the big challenge for me
Mm.
because, what did I spend? I don't know, years and years learning practical music, and then
Yeah.
now I have to be a recording engineer on top of it.
Yeah.
Like an entire other profession. And then there's the marketing and all the social media stuff. And
Mm.
I'm a one guy shop, so
Yeah. I think
I
that's where
don't
the
have.
industry very much has changed. And that, I think for a lot of different people, where I used to have people like separate people that did all these things, but now
Yeah,
you have to be able to do all of it because,
I know.
you know,
And yeah, so the concentration for me is still make music out of it instead of making it
mm,
such a technical
mhm,
achievement. Let's make music out of it and then try to present it, in a listenable way, hopefully, eventually. So yeah, yeah. But you do miss out a lot. I would love to do this with live orchestra, but
mm,
the amount of money it would take is incredible. So
yeah, it's not.
I'm not at that point yet.
So what have you got coming up next?
What is next? I guess the Josh movie,
Mhm.
The Hour of Shadows.
I didn't
I
make it
think,
into that one. I came over last year and we
Ron.
shot scenes for, I think we had in our heads it was going to be for 10 movies. And I think we managed to shoot scenes for 8
Oh,
because it was a lot to
I
pack into one week. And I think The Hour of the Shadows was one of the last ones that were on the list and we didn't manage to shoot
didn't
anything
get
for
to it.
it. So
I remember he went through that intensive period, 10 movies in
yes,
10 weeks or whatever it was.
it
Yeah,
was
that's,
one week. It was just one week.
oh, oh gosh, that's craziness. But yeah, he shot a few experimental things. It's about a
Mhm.
composer that gets traumatized, uh, and his girlfriend or wife or something is threatened by a demon, and then they have a chapel on their property where
Right.
the evil people have taken it over, and I don't really know.
So fun. Have you
It's
been to the studio?
I have, and
You
he's
have.
it's really come a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I went there for the premiere of Mantipus, and
Right.
the theater dropped the ball. It was the AMC theater, and they couldn't get the file to play. So I was
Oh
down there,
no.
and so yeah, we tried to maybe put on something in Josh's studio, and it just
Right.
didn't work out. So I
Oh,
came home. So I missed the actual premiere that came out later, but it looked like a lot of fun. So
yeah. I've seen the film actually now because it has dropped
yeah.
on Prime. So we watched
Oh
it
yes,
yesterday
we're all
and
on there. Let's see,
it's super
Innsmouth,
fun.
Innsmouth School for
Into School Girl. I
Girls.
haven't watched that one yet, but it is on there, so I will watch it.
It's all on there.
It's all on
I
there.
hope Josh can get you a code to watch it for free or something.
I think it is free on Prime for me because
Oh,
I
good.
pay for Prime, so I think
Yeah,
I
me
can
too.
watch it.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Yeah, and Mantipus is on there now. And that was a lot of fun. And having him do it on actual 16 millimeter film was kind of cool.
Do you know, it was such an experience and something that I'm so thankful for because, actors now, it's very rare that any of us are going to get a chance to ever do that. So
Right,
it was
right.
amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing. I
yeah.
felt like a real old school Hollywood star, especially because I had that little wig.
Yeah, oh,
Old wig.
that's right. That's right. And the cranking of the camera and
Yes.
all of that stuff. Yeah, he had to reshoot some things, and so he had to order, I don't know,
Yeah.
order more
Well, we
film.
originally shot some stuff the last time I was in Texas. So this was before lockdown. And then he decided to change the tone of the film. So I think we shot it and it had a kind of 70s feel, but then he wanted to take it back to the 50s. And so he was going to write me out of it because he said, it was like to obviously get the film made. And obviously I couldn't fly to the States for the 2 years after
Yeah,
lockdown. And then it took so long that by the time I did get out there again, he was like, we can still do it. So we
yeah.
finished my scenes
It's
there.
amazing that we did all this stuff during COVID.
Yeah,
I mean, the majority of the stuff that he's brought out was during that time.
yeah.
So I'm
I
really
mean,
hoping now that
it
that's
was an
kind of,
amazing time for people creating because writers had all of the time to write. So I think I've never been so busy. Like once we came out of that,
yeah,
I had the busiest year. Obviously in the UK, I couldn't fly to the States, but like
right.
shooting here, I shot so much because there was, so much to do,
Yeah,
so much kind of
fantastic.
material.
Well, growing up in Arkansas, my view of Texas was not a happy one
Right.
because basically Dallas, which was 6 hours from where I grew up by
Mm,
car, um, I didn't like. It was all pavement and money, and that's all it
yeah.
seemed to me. I don't want to piss off any Dallas people, sorry. But South Texas, I love the people. I love the
I
area.
think it's like a completely different place, the
It
two. Like
is.
South Texas it feels really relaxed and laid back and
It does.
yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Well,
It's flat. It's very flat. But I'm thinking, Texas has so many has like Monument Valley and I guess or something like that. It has mesas and buttes and
mhm,
things. He could really have some dramatic
you could.
landscape things going on. So I don't know. We'll see where we go.
Oh, we're out of time, Reba. This is
Oh no.
alone.
Okay.
I know. Thank you
It went so
so much for
fast.
coming on the show.
Well, you
And
made it so nice and pleasant. This was
oh,
fun.
I'm glad. What have you got planned for the
Yeah.
rest of your day? Because it's early for you, isn't it? In the day?
What time? I don't even know what time it is.
Is that
It's
20?
2:20.
2:20, so
Yes.
lunchtime then. It's 20 past 8 here, so I'm going to get dinner on and then
Oh yeah, yeah.
you'll be in bed,
I
I
don't
think.
know. My wife is out of town for a couple days, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I think they're showing Midnight in Paris. Do you know that movie?
I've heard of it, I haven't seen it.
It's really great, and they're showing it at some theater here. I may go see that.
Oh,
But other than
amazing.
that, just kind of hanging out. You know, not doing much.
Oh, well, enjoy.
Well, I will too, and thanks for asking me on your podcast. And it is the Scream Princess podcast on
It,
Spotify. Is that right?
it's on Spotify, it's on YouTube, it's on Apple Music and Amazon Music.